Hello fellow engineers and welcome back to Cities Skylines. This is the sprawling city of Engertopia, and unfortunately we're not going to be here today, we're going to be somewhere else. So we won't get to see any more of the underground airport, no more spaghetti junctions, and no more infinite poo. I mean power. It's powered by poo. Because this little leaking Atlantis area, which I would call Englantis, but it's not really working, it's very much leaking. It gave me an idea. A thought. Dangerous, I know. And it got me wondering, could I engineer a city that could survive a tsunami? I used to do drainage and flood alleviation design for a living after all. So, we're on a new map that I downloaded from the Steam Workshop, and here it is. I should press pause, but you can sort of see through the fog, there is a big old tsunami heading towards the land, which is partly the reason I chose this map. The other reason was there's a very, very strong shaped river. And basically, I'm going to build a city, and then we're going to defend it against the tsunami in a load of different ways to see which is the best. So game is still paused, so I'm going to get everything built first. So it looks like someone's gone a bit mental with the roads and the railways. But let's quickly just take a road off here. We'll sort of go down to the coast. We'll do that sort of layout for the middle. That looks really cool, to be fair. Although imagine the carnage of that junction. Oh, that's going to be interesting to see how they cope with that. So, something like that should be good. We'll just go into the zoning thing, and we can paint this however we want. We've got the unlimited zoning mod on, so whatever we paint will get built. So, I'm sort of thinking high density living in the middle. Got some high density commercial. Got some offices, and then more living, and then the industrial up this end. There we go. Next, we just need some drainage. So we'll just go under all the roads, and that's everything drained up, but we do actually need to take this to the water source. So I'm going to go to the river over that way. We'll have those there, and then we'll have the sewage outlet downstream a bit, we'll just connect them just need some power. So I'm literally just going to give them a wind turbine. And then I think that's most of the essentials done. So now I've pressed play, you should see there's a lot of buildings being built, people building their houses, and as the city's growing, if we turn around, we will notice that is a big wave. I think someone hasn't noticed down there, and we're going to be putting our engineering skills trying to defend the city. And I will say the city is booming. Look at it pop up. If I were to fast forward as well, what a lovely sight. But of course, the downside of speeding up is as you walk around the city, you will see on the horizon that's quite a big wave making its way in this direction. Oh wow, you can see there's like an inverse wave as the water's being sucked towards the tsunami. Right, I think we need to start thinking about how we're actually going to do this, because our city's pretty much done. So I reckon let's hit save. By the way, I was just looking through some of my old save. We got Airtopia, can you remember that? We got Bridgetopia, good times. We got the 3 versions of pollution, as well as Spaghetti-topia, Oily Woily, which I'm guessing was this, and then the Punama Canal with the inverse capitals. Anyway, this save will be called the Queen's Right Hand, because she waves, doesn't she? Oh wow, I'm back behind the tsunami. Speaking of waves, check out this cruise liner. Hang in there, mate. He's literally broadside to all the waves. I'm not sure that's the most clever thing to do. Anyway, I've got a city to protect, and as I want to use my real-life hydraulic engineering skills, we're going to be doing the 5-step proposal to try and fix this. So the 5-step process that I use every day in my actual engineering job, you got to 1, think about the permeability. Do we want water to pass through? Perhaps pass around? Next up, we need a design that copes with elongation. Are we able to make this wider? Because our town is pretty wide. The tsunami is infinitely wide. So something that needs to be thought about. Third one is Newton's third law. Now that's just common sense. I'm not even going to go into that one. The fourth one is impact. We've got to make sure our design can cope with the impact of the tsunami. So I have to look at the water density, the water pressure, the speed, velocity, all that sort of stuff, which comes on to the 5th and final step, the strength. We need to make sure whatever we design has the strength to withstand the tsunami and keep our residents dry. Now you might think those 5 things, they're pretty hard to remember, but we can narrow it down into a very easy to remember acronym, pennies. So just remember pennies and you'll be able to remember the simple 5-step process that'll help us defend against any tsunami you might encounter in your real life. So for the first step, I want to sort of see whether deflection will work. So if we come into the landscaping tool, I'm pretty sure there is, yes, the water structures. And if we were to build a wide and deep canal, perhaps we could use this to deflect the tsunami around us. Like if we did like a 3-prong solution and then sort of send these up there. I mean, I might even want to sort of do some sort of wider ones like this. That sort of looks like it might help a little bit, maybe. Oh no. Okay, the wave is actually quite big. I mean, also in here there is the flood wall. I mean, if you were to top our canals with this, I mean, they're not the tallest flood walls you've ever seen, actually. But oh look, where's the water gone? Oh no. Oh dear. I tell you what, that does actually give me time. Let's hit pause quickly. I'm going to use that to my advantage. I do actually think if I were to do enough canals in front of this, it might actually deflect enough water. So I'm thinking that sort of thing. And then if I extend all of these back quite a long way, like that, bung a few more flood walls in. Yeah, I'm not very confident about this one. It should be interesting to see what actually happens though. I mean, to be fair, that is a fair volume of water. That could actually work. Maybe. Potentially. So let's play this in fast motion and see what effect it has. You can see the actual wave is definitely getting affected and it is shrinking. It's shrinking quite a bit. I don't think it's going to shrink enough. Oh goodness. Sorry everyone. These people just walking to work. Like they literally just look in front of you. There's a wave coming. Oh, wow. Okay, we've been eclipsed by the wave. I think we're going underwater. Oh no, look, I'm being lifted up. Wow, okay. I properly underestimated the power of this wave. My stripy boys pretty much did nothing. You can see it took a little bit of the wave off. Yeah, essentially not great. I think we probably need to think a little bit bigger, specifically taller. So we've gone back in time, back to when the wave was all the way back there. Now, I wouldn't mind having a little go. If we go into this water tab, if we scroll to the very end, I've got the super water pump. Now, this is what I used to drain the sea previously, so I know that these work. And what I'm thinking is, could I make like a wall of them, perhaps like a 45-degree slope or something? So if I go to build another one of these, you'll see I can only place it on the shoreline. That's green. If I try and place it back there, no, badness. But if I press K a few times, I can now place this wherever I want to. And that's thanks to this mod, Building Anarchy, if you want to copy. So first off, let's delete that. I think what we're going to need a bit of terrain work. If we come to the terrain tool, we want level terrain, or if we shift first, we can set the heights that we want. So let's use the large brush. Then this brush strength will go up to the max. And then we've sort of got to eyeball in how tall is that. It's pretty damn tall. So let's start in the middle. And basically, let's just build a point. Okay, so I think something like that should be good enough. So we'll go to the level terrain tool. We will right click on the top there. And then we're literally going to build a plateau. And this is going to stretch around our city. Something like that. Right, next up, grab a pump and let's see how big the... Oh, look. Right, that's good. I can make this like half as wide. So we'll do this sort of thing along here. Go all the way around the edge. Same thing over this side as well. Then let's see how these fit. So if we had one there, another one in front. Yeah, that could be okay, actually. I think as well, if I turn on Fine Road Anarchy, which makes our little Tweety bird go from a normal bluebird to a fire-ranging killer bird. Then we can literally place these anywhere. We can like stack them inside each other and all sorts. I think that's probably what I want to do with this. Right, I think this will be fine, actually. If I just slowly work my way around, make the top one a bit wider again, do another layer and another one. And then with these lower ones, we should get to a point where it just blends into the hill. Yeah, look at that for a corner. That's pretty nice, that. I like that. So we'll just continue doing a few more steps. Yes, I'm well aware we're sort of in the water now, but I'm an engineer. I can play by my own rules. Right, nice. I feel that's almost set up perfectly for all my pumps now. But what I want to do first, I do actually want to delete these two pumps. I just sort of want to see how this would work just like that with no pumps on it. Although I am thinking, I think the water will just spill around the back. Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna have to extend these. I'm just gonna extend these till they meet the ground, which is about there. Oh, and actually, I may as well. I may as well just do one side and we'll see if it does actually make a difference. So the tidal wave is coming. Oh man, it's I feel like it's going to be very tight whether I built my wall tall enough. Look at all the water being dragged back. That's only going to increase the height, I think. I don't know what's going to happen as it hits that slope. Is it going to push everything up or is it going to push it around? Oh, it's tight. It's tight. What's going to happen up here? I'm a little bit scared. Oh no. Oh no. So water has definitely breached over the top. Oh goodness. Yeah, now the wall is sort of working. It's pushing it back. Now over on the side over here, it's actually working okay-ish. I mean, I won't lie. There's definitely water coming in and destroying my city. Oh no. Everyone's just getting washed away. Look at the buildings. Boosh. Oh, they're being flattened. That is all that remains afterwards. But yeah, you can sort of see on this side, if it was high enough, the water would be kept on the outside and it would be dry. Whereas on this side, you can clearly see the water just comes around. It's rushing down here. So my city would have been flooded if I did not extend. So we saw how that went. Let's reload this. And let's cover it in pumps. So with Anarchy active, let's grab these pumps and then let's start placing them down. So hopefully I can just copy these with the move it mod. Yeah, that's actually working very nicely. Thank you, mods. All right, then just fill a few more in manually like this. All right, and there we go. There's a load of pumps. Oh, it took so long. Right, now we need to do the really painful job. We've got to connect these up with pipes. Can you see all the little warning symbols? Which means we've got to go along and we've literally got to click between all of these. I mean, at least we get a really nice sound effect. That definitely isn't grating after 3 hours of doing this. Oh, man. I do honestly wish Paddy had opposable thumbs so I could hire him to do this. And you, yes you, Mr. Know-It-All commenter who's about to comment saying, Matt, if you'd just done it this way, it would have been way easier. You would have done it in 2 minutes. No, just don't. No, this is how I'm doing it. This is the only way to do it. If there's a better way, I literally don't want to know. Please don't tell me in the comments there's a better way. Why does it have to make that noise? My finger hurts from clicking too much. Right, I think that's the final ones. Yes, okay, so they're all connected, but they have no power. Now we're gonna need a lot of power to, well, power these. Oh, I've just realized I forgot to do this end. I forgot to do this end. Hang on a second. Right, there we go. Okay, so yes, we need power. So let's go into the power tab. And let's just have a look and see how much power each of these produces. 0 to 8 megawatts, 0 to 20, 40, 120, 1600. I can't do hydro, unfortunately. We don't really have the capacity. Oh, nuclear plant. 640 as well. All right, so as much as I do want to use a nuclear plant, these will actually use water. And you might be thinking, well, Matt, you've just put loads of pumps in. But yeah, but remember the water like drains before the wave gets to us. So I think that's just asking for trouble. It'll be a vicious cycle. If I'm trying to power pumps with a nuclear plant that needs water, it's a disaster waiting to happen, I think. So I'm instead going to grab these, the solar updraft towers, which need to be placed on a roadside. What? I'm not having any of that. Let's press K. So let's just go mental and shove these all the way along here. Oh, hang on. Do they actually need a road? Why do they need a road? Oh, okay. Hang on a second. So we'll place a few of these down, and then hopefully when we press play, they should all power on. Yes. Oh, look, we're making 10,000 megawatts. No, these need water as well. Damn it. Why does everything need water? All right, question is there enough water being pumped that it will work? I mean, if I just sneakily connect that to down there, then we should be good. Oh, yes, you can see the first line of defense has started sucking water up. Now, again, we got two different things going on here. I got the long arm on this side. I've still got a short arm on this side because I want to see, should this arm work? Will the water not work on that side? I don't know. Anyway, let's fast forward this and see what happens. Now, the theory with this one is as the wave gets closer, each layer of pump should suck it up and therefore lower the height of the wave, which hopefully means it won't overtop. And if you're asking where do these pump to, like where does the water go, just don't worry about that. Details. All right, we're in fast motion. The first few pumps are there. They're trying, actually. They're doing, no, they're not doing that good. Although, is it working? I think it's working. It's eaten the wave. Look at that. So this is about twice as high as it needs to be. Now this is going to be the interesting bit. Over this side, because we're at a slight diagonal, I'm not actually sure water will get round. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I think we can pretty much guarantee that this side is fine though. And look at that. The Tsunami Defender 3000. Ah, yes, look, over this side, the water is creeping round, which means some of you guys down here, you're a little bit at risk. Because although it just looks like a little bit of water, when we actually compare it to the size of a building, it's pretty mega. I mean, so much so, I think a lot of these buildings are going to be swallowed. Yeah, look, they're all collapsing. So it didn't quite work over this side. However, over this side, we're looking very, very good. And actually, is it receding? Or is that just our pumps? No, I think that's our pumps working still. I mean, look at the wave over there. You can see our city took the biggest chunk out of the wave. That's so cool. I was not expecting this to work. Not in the slightest. Usually if I spend like 4 hours on something, it's guaranteed not to work. But yeah, you can see even on this side, this is the extended end, the traffic is getting washed away as the wave heads round. So I'm wondering, I mean, technically I should extend that maybe. I definitely need to extend this arm. But look at that. That is decent. I'm impressed with myself. Well done, Matt. Pat on the back. So I think I'll just tidy this up a bit. I'll probably extend this arm and then I might try and use like canals and flood walls a bit up that end. We'll see what it looks like. Right, so this is what I've come up with. It sort of looks like Attack on Titan, like the city from it. But yeah, basically we've extended these up both sides. I've then added a load of canals and walls and stuff at the back. So hopefully that will work. Let's just watch this wave be disintegrated by our pumps. I do quite like it. Yeah, you can see the water's getting thinner and thinner. The water's gone from the middle. That is awesome. But yeah, my theory up here was as the water gets drunk by the pumps, hopefully these canals will be enough to sort of catch it. And you can see I've linked these canals up, so each arm sort of links back, meaning hopefully the water will flow back into the sea and not into my city. We do have gaps in the flood walls though, because we got little mini bridges for our motorways. Pretty cool. Let's hope they survive, because that's quite a big wave heading towards them. But yes, so far, everything sort of close to my city is sort of, it's almost sitting in the canals perfectly. If any spills over, it is getting pumped up. And then we've got 2 more canals over here, which hopefully means we might be okay. I don't know. I really have no idea. This is all theory based. This is actually sped up, by the way. It looks pretty slow, but it's full speed as fast as you can go in the game. And it's sort of looking like we might actually have enough capacity in these channels. I'm feeling fairly confident now. I'm actually feeling confident. Let's go see how the other side is doing. Yeah, this side, I think we've definitely survived. The main wave is heading over that direction. I mean, unless it rebounds and comes straight around the back. This is the weak point. I didn't want to go into there. There's obviously some groundwater issues going on. Didn't want to get involved with those, being just a surface water drainage engineer. But yeah, back over this side, I think we've done it. I think we've actually defended the city. Oh no, oh no. How many people spotted that shape? I literally didn't, so if you did, fair play. So this is it. We've got loads and loads of pumps that as the wave sort of gets close to it, which could take a while. This is at full speed, by the way. I've sped up the game. You wouldn't realize, but give it a few minutes.
One eternity later.
Here we go. You'll see the pumps actually suck up the wave, reducing the height of it until there is no more wave. Our city is saved. And what a lovely city this is down here as well. However, yes, we do have some flaws with this design. Obviously, these pumps, they require a lot of electricity. I mean, if we head along this street, these are all solar wind what are they called? Solar updraft towers, which although I don't know how they work, I know that they're very, very expensive to run, build, and maintain. So I want to know, is there a way of doing this that doesn't use electricity? Can we just deflect the tsunami? I mean, sea walls are literally a thing in real life, so surely we can replicate that in this game. So we're back on the map before we built the city, and we have the huge tsunami on its way. So I guess first we'll build a city, and for this one I want to use quite a lot of this space to try some different designs. So I'm going to build my city way back here on this road, which is, well, I think it was designed by an architect. It doesn't take the most direct route, but still, let's just build a nice little city down here. All right, so we've got quite a nice road layout there. We'll paint in some high density residential areas, an office zone, some industrial zones at the tip of the pyramid, some commercial. All right, and then we're done. We've just got to add some drainage. So as before, we just grab some pipes and we place these under the road. So that's what we do in real life. So that's that done. Then we just take this pipework over to the water source, which is over here. And we do a few water intakes upstream, and then downstream, we're going to put our sewage because we don't want to be drinking the sewage. This is an architect hill. And after dotting some hospitals and other things about, then we can press play and watch the city grow. Unfortunately, little do these guys know that there is a tsunami on its way to them, and I don't know how I'm going to stop it yet. But the view from the street is pretty cool. Like, this city is going up fast. It's going up so fast. However, beyond this university, there is the ever impending doom, which this ship doesn't seem too bothered about. But yeah, what I'm going to do before we get too far, I am just going to hit save, and we will call this Me. And then we'll realize I completely forgot to give these guys electricity. Oops. And they don't have water. Oh, they don't have water because I didn't give that electricity either. Oops, my bad. My bad. Oh wow, but first, look at this. Look at this. I did not know that was on the side of this map. Right, you know what that means? It's time for a bridge review. An absolutely insane span. I don't even know if I can count how many spans there are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 20, 21, 22. A 47-ish span suspension bridge, literally carved into the side of a cliff, taking a constant feed of traffic from the high up hills over here down a curved slope to our new city. Although, to be honest, I'm not entirely sure why they didn't just carve the road into the cliff. I think I'm going to give this a 6.7 out of 10 bridge review. All right, anyway, distracted. Let's get some stuff on the go. So electricity, I think we're going to lay some roads down, and then we'll lay some nuclear power plants on top of these. All right, so that's those done. So apparently these should be making me lots of electricity now. Oh yes, we're making 21,000 mega. That's quite a lot of megawatts. The whole city only uses 72. No, that can't be right. No, I still haven't connected it. Come on, Matt. You can tell it's Monday morning, can't you? No, I'm trapped. I can't get my pylons over the railway. Oh, yes. Yes, I can. In your face, game. Aha. So pylons over to there. And then hopefully all of these... That's a lot of red. All of those should turn off, and then everyone's happy, except for the people that don't have workers. But don't worry, you'll get workers at some point, I'm sure. And then we're going to look at ways to deflect this tsunami, bring it to a standstill without using electricity, because we definitely can't spare any of that on this save. Now, in the real world, I think the main sort of seawall is like a curved one. So it sort of looks like I would say a half pipe. But like an inverted half pipe. So I'd basically want like a half loop along this side. So as the wave comes up, it like sort of rounds round and gets deflected back into the sea. However, I'm pretty sure with the terrain tool, I can't do like an overhang. So I guess to start, if we turn up the intensity and make the brush a bit bigger, I guess we'll just do a vertical wall just to sort of see, like that's our base test. We'll see what happens. But yeah, with the curved wall, it would be like a backward C shape. Well, actually, if I turn my head over this way, it would be a C shape. Meaning as the water sort of rushed up it would get flung backwards. Not entirely sure what's going to happen here, but I want to compare like this vertical wall with like a 45-degree one. I'm intrigued to know without the pumps, will the 45-degree sort of push the wave over? So here we go. You can see our wall is actually like twice the height it needs to be at the moment. But what happens to the water? Yeah, it goes straight up. Oh, is it going to go over? That's just about the right height that it didn't go over. And it's pushing the wave back. That's quite interesting. It's mullered the wave behind. Unfortunately, if you look around the sides, the water has snuck in and is destroying my purple-headed warrior city. Yep, cars, buildings, people, they're all getting washed away. But deflection of the main wave, pretty good in my opinion. Now, next, let's reload this, and rather than having a vertical wall, let's have a 45-degree one. Right, so this is the same height, it's just a 45-degree slope instead. So I wonder, is this gonna like push the water over the top, or will it still push it back? Place your guesses now. Right, it seems to be, I think the wave is gonna go over. Actually, that doesn't seem to be deflecting very well. It's getting very high. People on the rear side, if they're looking up, well, actually, it just about worked. I think if this was slightly shorter, that would have been a disaster. So maybe I'll do that as my test instead. I'll shrink this. We'll try and deflect waves with like half the height. Right, so test one, repeat. I think our berm is pretty much the same height as the wave now. So this should be a bit of a different test. So water gets pushed up and then it literally just flies straight over. And what about when it comes down the other side? Does it shrink in height again? Yes, it does. And then just annihilates the city. I mean, I knew it was going to happen, but it's still hard to watch. Actually, that building survived. What is that building? Is that like a joke shop? Oh no, now it's gone. Now it's gone. So I feel like this berm sort of took out half the wave, if that makes sense. All right, so now we've got the cheese wedge. Is this just going to launch it over the top? I imagine so. What is the height of the wave this side going to be? Oh, it's pretty much full height still. Actually, no. That's taken out quite a decent chunk. I mean, where's that joke shop? I can't see the fancy dress shop surviving this time. No, it's just utter carnage. Okay, so the vertical wall, no surprise really, was a lot better. So with that knowledge, let's try a different shape. Rather than straight, how about we try like a triangle to sort of deflect it back in both directions? I mean, I won't lie, that's not my finest work, but... That's terrible. Let me reload. All right, there we go. So the theory here is that the wave will sort of bounce either side, because as we saw, the vertical deflection deflected it straight back. So rather than going straight back, it should go like 45 degrees back, and therefore we might be able to save the city from being swept from the outer edges. That's the theory anyway. I mean, I really don't know what's going to happen. So ready? Boosh! It's being completely flung upwards, and oh no, it's just going straight over. It's going straight over. Oh dear. I feel like if we had some more height, that may have been good, but that is quite a wave. But I don't want to cheat. I sort of want to give myself a bit of a height limit, so we're not going to do any berms higher than that. What I might try and do is use different methods to reduce the wave's height before it gets to there. So we'll go back to this layout with nothing, and something I've sort of done quite a lot in my real life job. Whenever we are trying to slow down velocity of like a river or something, we'd use riffles. So basically, I've made these like lower than the berm wall. They're half the height of the berm wall. But essentially, you would do something like this to make a little pattern, meaning the water flow doesn't have a direct route to wherever it's going. So from the side, it sort of looks like that, which means as the water hits this, the water will come bang into that berm, and then it will split to go along here through the gap, hit that berm, then through that one. And generally you'd see these on like a pipe outlet that like went into a river or something. If you're trying to prevent the river getting eroded, like you'd have the pipe outlet, and then you'd have either like a load of boulders and stuff, or sometimes this would be like a precast concrete sheet. It just slows down the water velocity, meaning your river isn't impacted by your flow. Oh man, that was proper engineering. That felt weird saying that. Sorry guys, let's get back to the dick jokes. But yeah, anyway, let's see how this affects the tsunami wave. Because obviously in real life, I never defended against tsunamis. Our aim, of course, is to lower the wave height so that our deflection thing will work. So we'll try and keep an eye on the height along the edge. So as this goes in, you can see it's booshing against those, and then the next wave is getting hit, and then the next one is getting hit. However, I'm not sure that... I feel like it's made the wave higher. Yeah, that literally had almost zero impact. Okay, well that's good to know, I guess. So yeah, tsunamis a little bit different to pipe outlets, it turns out. Much to the disappointment of my citizens. Sorry, guys. Right, well, the other thing we sort of do in the culvert outlets, rather than having like rocks stick up, we do also add plunge pools, because that also slows down the velocity. So what I'm thinking, with this wave approaching, if I were to make like a big trench. Right, so there we go. That seems a bit of a fairer test. Now we sort of know, although the wave will drop down into this, it will pop back up the other side. But the theory is, because this is like a bit of a plunge pool, the water should be deeper, hopefully meaning it will slow down. If it's realistically simulated, that is. And I don't think it's going to be, if I'm honest. All right, so here it comes. It's about to enter the bathtub. What's going to happen to the height? Yes, the height is going down. Is it slowing down if we watch from above? You'd expect the middle to have slowed down a lot, but actually it's going at the same speed. So this hasn't really worked as intended at all. And when it comes back up, it's... It's pretty much the same height. That did nothing. Absolutely nothing. Yeah, sorry guys. Sorry. Run away. Alright, so this is similar to the triangle, but I've tried to put a bit more of a point on this. It's quite hard to use this tool to do a bit of finesse. You can see it's a bit ropey at the start. Alright, so ready? We want this point to act like a blade and to slice through the wave like no one's business. Come on, slice through. Oh, is it working? I think it's worked. Wait, what? The wave's gone through. Has a wave gone through? It may have worked. It may have worked. Oh, I tell you what, that was pretty close. I mean, if I was living down here, I probably wouldn't call that a win with that coming towards me still. But it's definitely a lower wave, right? Is it? I don't know, actually. But you can see the wave that has been deflected like this. It's only a little bit, but it is actually going back the opposite direction, which is quite nice. So what about canals then? We know that these are actually pretty good at deflecting water from last time. What if we did this sort of thing? And then just to help it, I might put these flood walls in between. So then we end up with this sort of thing, which means hopefully that should deflect some water. I mean, it's blooming big enough. We've gone quite to town on this one. And it's weird, like these flood walls, they're like literally huge in game. But then when you look at the tsunami, oh, it's so big. I don't think we have much hope, but we will see. And one of the key things I will be keeping an eye on is the height of the wave in the middle, because surely as the tsunami gets eaten by the canal, that should reduce in height, right? Yeah, if you look up here, that's going down quite a bit, I think. Is it going down enough though? I feel like if I was one of these residents, like if I was on the top floor here looking out, despite the graphics being weird and me being able to see through the wave, I would still be quite scared. Because yeah, I don't know actually. I don't think that in the middle, I don't think that's much lower than on the sides. It's definitely got some like Mexican waveage going on. It's like it is full on moving, proper having a party in there. And actually, I assume it's lost quite a lot of momentum because check out these buildings. They're all still standing. Alright, so what about this? This is this is a mess. This is using a combination of everything that sort of worked. So we've got the super wide canals with the flood walls on top. We've got the points that should hopefully help deflect. I did shove a flood wall on top. I don't really know why. I mean, look at it. Well, actually, if you squint, it sort of looks like the Great Wall of China, and that was a great success. But yeah, if this can help keep our city dry, I will be pretty impressed. I've saved it so we can potentially add on to this. Maybe neaten it up. I did use anarchy, which means, well, it's just made anarchy. But yeah, look, the wave is hitting the point, which should mean it gets split either side into the canals. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. It has been split. We've split the tsunami. Now it's just a case of, will the curvature deflect the tsunami away and potentially push the rest of the wave away? Or will it just go straight over the top? I mean, I tell you what, that's not too bad. Considering what these guys have been through, I feel like some buildings might even survive. Actually, the majority of buildings might survive that. That's not too much water, he says, when tower blocks are fully submerged. But yeah, if you look at that chunk, that is a huge, huge improvement on previous. I mean, putting the point on has made this a lot higher, so that was probably always going to be the case. But yeah, not too bad. I feel like if I could try and reduce some more waveage at the front, I mean, if I do some more canals, I could add some more riffles, the riprap, you know, the old boulders that we were doing. I don't think that worked very well, though, if I'm honest. I could do those a bit wider to try and, like, just disrupt the other wave. So what does it take to stop a tsunami without using pumps in this game? I mean, potentially this. Whether this will work, I guess we'll find out in a second. But we've got a large array of canals and flood walls. We've then got the riprap. And then I've added a big canal around the outside, which, look, made a very nice bridge for our railway. That's such a high bridge. But yeah, let's see how it gets on. So the canals, they should be eating quite a large chunk of the waves out. I'm then hoping these will slow down the velocity, meaning that by the time it hits our deflector in the middle, rather than surging over the top, it should just go around the edge. So we're about to hit the riprap. So boosh. Oh, that is mixing things up a bit. We have some turbulent water there. And the main part of the tsunami is hitting the splitter. I feel like that's a lot lower now. Tell you what, this is actually working reasonably okay. I'm hoping this canal should take a lot of the riffled water. It's sort of doing a good job. And then over here, there is some water getting over, but barely anything. If you were these guys, you probably won't have to water your plants, but I think that's about it. Have we actually done this? I mean, zooming out, there is a fairly major wave coming down on ground level. I mean, people are still driving through it, to be fair. I mean, to be honest, I think we've actually survived. There's hardly any water in here. They're walking on foot. I mean, they are hiding, but they're okay. See, that's a thumbs up. That's definitely a thumbs up. Oh no, I think she might be crying now. Right, ignore her, ignore her. You know what? I think this might be a success. So this city has been saved, and all it took was that. Oh, that's quite a mess, that is. So we have a large area up here that's unbuilt at the moment. We've got the sea, and then at the back here, there is a mega tsunami heading its way towards it. But first off, you might be wondering, what is the invention? Well, you may have heard of the word valve before. These allow you to stop water, so there's like a gate valve, a ball valve, a plug valve, a globe valve, a needle valve, a pinch valve, a diaphragm valve, a butterfly valve. There's loads of different valves, and all of them have moving parts, which means they're not too reliable. They will break over time, they might need maintenance. But Nikola Tesla came up with something called, this might surprise you, the Tesla valve. And the Tesla valve is a valve that has no moving parts, and I want to try and test that today, but with a tsunami, so on a large scale. So first off, I'm literally gonna do something sacrilege. I'm gonna delete this bridge, even though there is a train on it. Sorry, mate, you're about to be in trouble. But yeah, I want that whole train track gone because I need to build a seawall defense. So first up, we'll come down into this tool, the landscape and disasters tool. We're going to use the level terrain tool. We're going to click that button so it's a large brush. We're going to click this 2 times so the brush is very strong. And basically, we're just going to do a straight line across the entire shoreline like this. But very quickly, I just want to say thank you to everyone that has been watching, liking, commenting on these tsunami videos. They've actually been appearing in the trending videos list on YouTube, which is insane. And as a small celebration, you can now get 10% off everything my merch store at realcivilengineer.store using code Tsunami. So go grab a bridge review shirt and you'll be fully qualified to review bridges. Anyway, let's get back to defending against this tsunami. Now, the trouble is, once you get to this end, you'll see there is a river here. Now, I think there's like a water spawning thing up here. So if I were to cut that off, I think the water will just come down and it will flood the city anyway. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to leave a little gap in my wall, annoyingly. But I think that should be fine. That should allow all this area to stay reasonably dry. What I'm going to do for now, I'm just going to save the game. We're going to call it We Owe Everything to Mr. Tesla. And then we're just going to press play. We're going to let the tsunami wave hit this. Hopefully we can see that we're the right height. Oh, it's going to be close actually. And what I want to do while that's going on, I want to build like a sort of channel up here. So although I want most of the waves to stop, we do want a sort of like a river tsunami going on. So if we just continue this wall, but we go upwards, I don't quite know how wide to go. I guess we'll do something like that to start. Well, then you can see at the bottom of my screen, the water is disappearing because the tsunami wave is nearly there. You can see actually our wall is a lot higher, so we might be okay. But yeah, before that hits, I'm gonna break the wall down here. If we just grab that level at the bottom, we should just be able to, yeah, there we go, cut away the wall. And then what I'm hoping to see is the tsunami wave getting pushed back by these vertical walls, but then the main wave carrying on up there. And if all goes to plan, we will build a city at the end of this channel, and that's what we're going to be defending against. So the tsunami is about to hit. You can see the water is getting pushed upwards. Hopefully it won't go over the top. If it does, oh, it is just about going over the top. We may need to add a very small amount of height because, yeah, we have some water over there. We don't want that. But in the middle, you can see that is very much continuing. And this is the tsunami we want to stop. Unfortunately, with this valve design, we can't really stop an entire wave of tsunami, but we can stop a small little channel's worth. So I've added a bit of extra height. I've added that thing there. What I'm going to do now, I'm going to extend up this way. I think I'm going to want this like really far. I'm going to want to go right to the end. For those wondering who Jelly FX is, I think that's the person who made the mod. So thank you for making this map. I love a bit of a tsunami map. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to move the roads and railways a bit. So we'll grab that, we will press delete. Oh no, look at all these cars. Yeah, we'll extend these flood walls all the way up. And basically we're just creating like a massive channel. Because the thing with the Tesla valve, it does require space. It's not like a normal valve where there's no space issues. It sort of requires time to work. And what I might do like a sort of circular area where we can put the city. One other thing I want to do, just because I'm an engineer, aren't I? So I want to make this structural. Obviously, this 90-degree bend, it's not very structurally sound. This is just gonna like strengthen it up. These are gonna be like little bracing piers. So we use these in real life like all the time. They sort of just help absorb the impact. So yeah, I think this is pretty much all set up so we can get our city in that end of the thing. I guess we could call that the tip. Yeah, and then we should all be good. Right, so we've got some roads in. I am gonna have to connect this to these main motorways. And then I don't know, can I tunnel through that? that? I assume I can. Intrigued what that's going to do. Hopefully it won't cut through the thing. Oh, it doesn't. It actually puts... Wait, it puts a tunnel in, but it raises it up. That's random. Okay, whatever. So we've connected that one in. We'll just do the one in the opposite direction as well. All right, so that's that sorted. I'll probably do the same with the train line as well. So I guess that means we will need a train station in here. So we'll bung that there and head into there again. Again, doing a raised tunnel. I don't know what the game's trying to do there, if I'm honest. Anyway, then we'll come out this side and then connect up there. Job's a good one. We've got connections from the outside world to our city, which means we can just build a few bits and bobs in here. There's a bit, there's a bob. All right, so now we've got a city in. You can see that's building itself nicely there. So I guess we go back, and then this is the phase 1 of the test. I think we've done enough engineering to know that these walls will deflect most of the tsunami, and then the rest of it will head up here and it should destroy our city. Sorry people that are just moving in. Let's speed up the wave and see how it gets on. So hopefully we should see deflections on either side. Boosh and boosh. Nice. And then we've done it tall enough that no water is going over the top. Oh god. Oh goodness. We had a bit of an overspill on this side. And meanwhile we have the main tsunami wave heading up the shaft. And as you can see, our city is definitely the target for this thing. So if we watch from above, you can see the tsunami is slowly making its way up. Thankfully, my editors have done a nice little time lapse, so you don't have to wait as long as I do. Not gonna lie though, quite intrigued to find out what's gonna happen to this when it hits the end. Right, we're nearly there, so let's zoom in down here and see. Oh, the wave has definitely shrunk. So that will go in. That will probably destroy most things. Quite intrigued to see what it's going to do to these tall buildings. Are they going to survive? Fair play. That is engineering at its finest. But most of the other buildings completely wrecked. Just quickly, I'm going to hit pause because I am a child. I just wanted to do that at the end. Sorry everyone. But anyway, you can see the destruction. That's with no valves, no anything. It's not a mess, an absolute mess. So before we actually build the Tesla valve, let's do some other things because we're going to be doing a bit of engineering in this one. Yes, I can only apologize, but you may learn something or you may not. Right, so I've just loaded a previous save where the tsunami's up here, and what I want to show you is some engineering-y fluid mechanics stuff. So basically, we saw the water. It went from right to left along the strip canal we've done. And basically, if we imagine that wave going from right to left, we know that it went at like a constant speed. That's because there's no change in the sidewalls. It's all just a straight line. So if we imagine that speed, if we were to add in something like that, so that means the water that was this side is being forced down this funnel. And basically, in real life physics, as water would come along here, it would get squashed. And as it gets squashed, of course, it's going to speed up. So if you think about the wave coming along here, it will be going at a certain speed. And then when it starts to get narrower, it will go faster and faster, getting forced through there. Meaning that the wave on the right side of this should be a lot slower than the wave on the left side. Now, I have a feeling the physics of this game won't actually simulate water like that. But let's do a little test and let's find out if what we expect to happen is going to happen. So you can see the tidal wave has sort of made it to here. We're going to see, hopefully, it speeds up if the simulation is right. I mean, obviously, the water's getting narrower and narrower. Does that mean, is it getting taller then? So you can see it's getting taller towards the edges. I'm actually quite intrigued as to what the game's doing here. So it's about to burst through the end, and it doesn't look like it's going any quicker. It's sort of just got taller. But still, there comes the water out the end. I feel like it's definitely not moving any quicker. It's about the same. Although that has actually somehow, like, all the water's disappeared. I don't understand where it's gone. That wave is tiny compared to what was on the other side. But anyway, the hydraulic theory is that would make water worse on this side. It would make it faster. So if you're trying to make a valve, if you're trying to protect your city, this is the wrong way to do it. What if we were to do the opposite on this? So I've reloaded again. The wave's all the way back there. So doing the opposite would be doing this sort of thing. Now, if you try and imagine the tidal wave coming down here this time, you can see it's going to get stuck in the corners, not ideal. And any water that does get through there, because it gets wider, if you think last time water getting narrower speeds up in velocity, as it comes this way and gets wider, the velocity is going to slow down. Now that's because, like, the water, rather than going straight ahead, it will spread out sideways because it takes the path of least resistance. So as it spreads out as well, it gets slower and slower. And in some cases, like in these top corners, the water could actually do a full loop and actually head back along this direction. And we'll watch to see how City Skyline water physics actually takes this. I'm assuming from last time it's literally going to do probably nothing. I imagine the speed will stay the same, but presumably the tidal wave will go smaller and it will sort of do like a curved one, which is sort of realistic. We'll see what happens here. So tidal wave going through the middle as expected. The ones on the edges, they should get pushed back. And then this one that's coming through the middle, you can see it's getting wider. It's also getting lower, which is exactly what we expected. But that should affect the velocity. That should slow it down, and I'm not sure it's going to. But yeah, in terms of speed, because we've got this one down here, which obviously we haven't really affected, you can see where that is on the line. So unfortunately, the one up the top, it hasn't slowed down like it should have done. But at least it's lower, which is a good thing, I guess. Now, where does this stand in terms of the Tesla valve? Now, the Tesla valve, it actually uses this principle, particularly where the water was spinning around there. And essentially, it's a bit of a improvement on this. So if we go back to what we had before, basically where we had our channel before, we then add another sort of wall thing. And to make this neater, I'm going to do this in flood walls because we know we can trim these back really nicely. All right, so then we have that, and then we're just going to do another flood wall behind. So like this first one, but it's going to be back here. But then we end up with something like this. And essentially the thing with this one is this islandy part in the middle helps the water like rotate and spin back around. So the theory is if we were to draw an arrow, the water would come along here, it would head down this way, and then it would sort of turn around in here because all the deflections and things, and come back out this way, meaning any water coming along here will be sort of battered by the water being flung out of that direction. And so if you have a series of these along your shaft sorry, then your water gets slowed down more and more each time. And essentially that is what the Tesla valve is, but with a bit more finesse. So rather than this like pointy corner, it will be nice and curved. And I feel like if we do that in this game, that might actually help the topping over situation. It might help the water physics actually simulate this properly. So for now, let's see what happens with the water as it comes along here. I think as we saw last time, as the water hits the corner back there, it will fling up and probably over top. We'll have to see what happens. I feel like though this could actually stop / slow down the tsunami. Granted, not as accurately as in real life, but I feel like it still might work. So yeah, you can see the water there is getting flung up as it gets squished and squished, which is probably sort of accurate. However, you can actually see some of the water is moving from left to right along this channel, so I think it's sort of working. I mean, as before though, if we zoom out, we can see the speed of the tsunami hasn't slowed down at all. Now that isn't realistic. This should be like way slow. It should be back here still. But considering there's a big hole down the middle, that is a very, very small tsunami compared to what it was on this side before it entered the channel. So I think as another test, what I might do, I might actually make the Tesla valve a bit more realistic. I might add the curved wall there and see if that actually helps with the spillage. Fill all of that in to the top level just so I can build my flood wall on top. And I think we can do something like that, which is a nice little curve. Any water coming down here should be like flung around that way. So it will just trim back the extra landscape that we don't need. Goodbye landscape. Then essentially you can see as the water would come down here, it's got a nice smooth curve, so it will get forced back around and flung that direction, slowing down any water that was coming along there. So we've started the simulation again. The tidal wave is heading up. It is really cool to look at. I love that the tidal wave like proper bounces back. It's like these boats were like, yeah, we missed the tidal wave, but actually no, it's coming back for you guys. My bad. I also love how impatient this traffic is over there. It's like each time the wave sort of carries on going like that direction, the traffic's like, oh, a little bit more room. Everyone move forward. And then some get swept away. And these guys are like, can't be having any space. Right, anyway, back to our Tesla valve. What we're comparing this time is how this curve works at the bottom compared to the top that has no curve. How is that gonna work? It's spinning around. And look, you can see it's deflected. It's coming back, which means two waves are sort of meeting in the middle. And I think because this had more force. Yeah, look, the water's heading back out. Oh, fair play, game. Is it working how I wanted it to? Maybe. Like, compared to the top one, you can see there's way more flow coming out this side. All right, so that's pretty much done. I want to try and get rid of these bits. Because basically you can see this slopey bit is a bit narrower. So if I just trim up to the flood walls, I think that'll be a fairer test as well. So now our water coming up here, it should work a bit better. Now a little bit more theory as well.
Here we go again.
Because you might be wondering, you may have seen it in the simulation as well. You might be thinking, Matt, surely the water coming along here, as it heads along this way, surely it will just go down this one, and that's where we want the water to come out. Well, yes, it would, but if you remember, the wider the water, the slower it is. And you'll notice this main stream is a lot wider than these narrow ones. So if you think about the water, as it's going along here, it's going at a set speed. As it heads down there, because it's narrower, it will be forced to go faster. So the water will fling around there, and it should, this is if this is designed properly, it should sort of fling out here before this main water, which is moving slower, because it hasn't been narrowed to speed up the velocity. As it's coming along here, it should be forced out before it actually enters that bit. Now, let's see how this works. And hopefully, if successful, we can add a few more of these along this trench and potentially save our city, which hasn't actually been built yet. So here we go then. Can the Tesla valve stop the tsunami? My main sort of point of interest this time is the first curves I've put in. Will they be enough to prevent the water spilling over the top? Ish. Sort of. We definitely got a lot less spillage than usual, which is pretty good. But yeah, we can see along this one, the wave, it went down both of these chutes at the same speed, which wouldn't actually happen in real life. But it definitely gets deflected and then pushes water back, which, yeah, when you look at the size of the tsunami, it's tiny compared to like how big it was just the other side. Like, this thing has absolutely annihilated that tsunami. I feel like if we just add like another one or two of those valves, then our city will definitely be saved. I feel like at the moment there still is a bit too much water approaching. So from the safety of the railway bridge, let's see what's happening. Oh no, cars are being washed away. There is quite a bit of water actually. Is it enough to damage any buildings though? I'm not actually sure. Although with nowhere to go, this city is very much underwater. Okay, I think we can try and fix this a bit more then. Let's add another valve. All right, so here we have our new extended Tesla valve. Here comes the tidal wave as well. Yeah, and I think this gives like a good impression. Like, if you can see like just how big that tidal wave is and how big that gap is. It's sort of like a third of the way through. You really would expect like a third of the wave to get up there, but well, as we know, that is not the case. So let's see how this works this time. You can see the waves coming back each time they hit the curved parts. And as it enters the final Tesla valve, you can see there's a massive reduction in water. There's sort of a green dry stripe behind it. So yeah, I feel like this is a lot less water. We've done well, guys. We have done well. And to be fair, in a game that doesn't actually, like, this isn't a water physics simulation game. It's a bloomin' city builder with traffic and stuff. And I think considering that, we can give the game a round of applause, because despite the velocity not being affected, just the fact the height of the wave has reduced this much, I think it shows the game's actually been pretty decent. And in terms of actually simulating water physics, the software I used to use at my engineering firm was bloomin' expensive. We're talking like thousands and thousands of pounds a year just to be able to use the software as like a license. So yeah, very complicated maths. I don't think you'd ever get a game that would be able to like simulate this like literally in real time. The simulations we used to run, sometimes they'd take like hours to run. But yeah, you can see as the water affects there, it's sort of a lot less. But yeah, I feel like there's really not a lot of water about. You can see, well, some of the plants are getting watered, but that is about it. That is a hell of success. I don't even think I need to do the other valve. Look at this. It's completely dry. However, in the comments, I noticed a lot of you complaining that my inhabitants that I haven't actually built yet on this map, they lost their lovely sea view. Because obviously it's quite nice to look out at the impending doom that's heading towards you. But yeah, so this time we're gonna build a city, and we're gonna try and stop the tsunami without building above land. So essentially, wherever I build my city, I need to make sure they have a sea view. Now, the one thing I'm a bit unsure about, doing that. I'm not sure what counts as a sea view. I mean, to me, a sea view would be if you had a property like here, that would be your view. You got a view of the sea. However, most estate agents would argue that if you built your property all the way over this end of the map, as long as you squint and you can see a bit of blue, that counts as a sea view. Now, I'm sort of inclined to agree with the estate agent on this one because I want to make it easy on myself. But shall we meet in the middle? So rather than Matt's sea view and rather than the estate agent's sea view, we're going to meet in the middle, like a very good compromise, which basically means I need to build a city within this highway, which is absolutely mental. I don't understand why anyone would build a highway that isn't like perfectly straight. Yep. Definitely wouldn't catch me doing that because I only highway efficiency into all my highway designs. So I guess first off, I'm going to build my city, and I feel like I just want to build it in like a straight line. So literally I might select everything that's in the middle. So from there all the way down to like there, and then click this button down here. Boosh, it's deleted. Right, so we'll come down here, we'll link these two roads together. So we've got that. I might do that just because I am a child. I'm going to do the same to the motorway over this side. So I basically just want to link these up like that. Oh, I'm sorry, that's got to be up there with one of the best road designs I've ever done. Right, and then I do actually want a road going through this. So I'm going to grab one of these nice 2-lane roads with trees, and we're going to come straight out of there. And we're literally going to do the world's straightest road parallel with the beach over to there-ish. We'll then connect into that as well. Then with this railway, I'm literally just going to take it in a straight line over to there. So it's in a nice bridge. So we've just made the world's longest rail bridge. But I've reckoned I've engineered that enough that the tidal wave should pass straight over it without any damage done to the bridge. Right, anyway, let's get on to building the city. So first off, we're going to need a water source for all these people. So if we come into water, I'm going to grab a water tower, maybe a large water tower. I'm going to put them over here out the way, connect them all up with pipes, and then just do a pipe network up the side of there, out that bit, and then this can literally follow our straight road and down to that one. Nice. So we got a water supply for our people, and we know water is stored in the balls, so that's why they're there. We're then going to need some sort of electricity, and I feel like I might just shove a dam like along there like that. Because if you look, this is like a river. It's flowing from the source up there. It should flow down that way, and I'll hope that'll give us some power. We'll have to see what it does. If we for now just do a power line from there over to that corner, and hopefully these will all build, and then they'll all have electricity. The one final thing we need though is a water drain pipe. I don't know why it's called a water drain pipe, because we all know by now water does not come out of it. So if I know anything about anatomy, I think we need to put this somewhere around here, connect them up to the network, and then all that's left to do is turn this road into a city. I think we'll start with some high density living areas. We'll then do some high density commercial, and then some office. We want to give people jobs. Then we'll do some low density houses at the front. We'll keep the high ones at the back, because we do want to make sure everyone's got a nice sea view. And the same with the commercial, and then the industrial. Dot a few hospitals and stuff about. A few other unique buildings, and then if we press play, we should see our city start to grow. Ooh, nice. So yeah, life is pretty good for everyone down here. They're all pretty happy. They've all got a nice sea view of ever impending doom. Oh wow, there's even an amphitheater. What the hell? Fair play, game. It never ceases to amaze me, like, how much stuff this game has. It's awesome. Right, anyway, word on the blower is there's a big tsunami approaching the city, and I guess I've been hired in to try and stop it without ruining their sea view. So, what did we learn from our previous experiences in this? We know that pumps are the best thing to get rid of it, but I'm not allowed to use pumps because they block the view. I feel like the most simple thing to do would just be like loads and loads of canals and stuff, on the assumption that as the tsunami passes over a canal, you should lose the volume of a canal. So hopefully by the time it reaches our city, there shouldn't be any tsunami left. I guess, yeah, let's see if that works. So I guess we'll hit save first, and we'll call this Tsunami. All right, then we'll come down to the landscaping and disasters tab. We'll go onto the water structures, and then we've got all different size canals. I'm going to go with the super big deep ones, so a wide deep canal. And then I guess I just start this end and we do that, and then we move up slightly and we go again. And then after doing this about 100 more times, we'll get distracted and realize we haven't got water in our city. There's no power to the balls. There's no power to the balls. So let's quickly just wang some power lines down this edge. Then our balls are now powered and everyone's got water. Nice. Okay, things are good again. Let's continue building these. There's so many. Why is the front one filling with water? Wait, you're not meant to go in here yet. You're meant to be a tsunami. By the way, as well, check out my dam. My dam is producing electricity. That's like one of the most sensible dams I've ever created. Fair play. Unfortunately, my railway has just been swallowed by the tidal wave, which is getting very, very close. I should probably finish this before everything gets destroyed. So let's hit pause. Let's build some more canals. Let's be annoyed that our road isn't quite parallel to the canals. Oh, that's so frustrating. But let's also take a moment to appreciate this building, which probably because of the architects is cantilevered over a canal. It's still very, very impressive, although I'm not really sure how you're meant to get to that dumpster. Still, back over here. Look at this. Look how many canals there are. Right, so the tidal wave is now approaching the canals. And the theory here is that each sort of canal, like you should, as the tidal wave passes over, that volume of water will hopefully stay behind. So as we go over the top and we end up on the other side, these should stay filled with water, although it's a bit turbulent. No, yeah, they are. They're pretty filled with water. So hopefully we're losing volume every canal that we hit. I mean, from above, it doesn't look like it's working like that. But if we head like a bit closer, is that wave getting smaller? I'm not sure actually. I feel like we're coming up to like halfway there, and I don't know, is that tsunami like half the height it was? I'm not too convinced, but look, there's a lot of water behind. That is all I'm saying. If I was like on this rooftop on that helipad and I was looking out there, because of the graphics, I wouldn't even be able to see the tsunami coming because you can just see through the water annoyingly. So at least my citizens, they don't know of the impending doom that's heading their way. But yeah, still quite a bit of height to this. Although, look how thin the wave has got. There's like nothing left of it. It's just like a vertical wall. Actually, look at the middle. Oh, it might actually work. Look at this. Look at this. This end, we've done it. That's the last bit of wave. It's not... We've done it. We've literally done it. Oh, what's going on over this end, though? No. No, my industrial area. No. Oh, that was nearly so good. So for some reason, we only saved most of the city. Like from above, you can see everyone we saved. Well, pretty much we saved everyone that like lives somewhere. So all the houses were saved. Although they're a little bit wet over this end. I mean, people have moved out for some reason. Why is that? Why has everyone moved out? Oh, is it because you don't have water or electricity now? Because yeah, okay, we might need to protect those. Always shield the balls. Now the trouble is we've got this blooming river here, so I can't really put canals in underneath. So that's a bit tricky. I don't know. That might always be the case. I don't know. For now, the fact that the actual buildings didn't get destroyed, I think still means the city is fine, although there's no electricity or water. Well, and this end did actually get completely mullered. Now, I wonder why this end got mullered. Like, is the tidal wave stronger this side or something? Don't know, but these guys, they have quite a nice view still. Like, they can definitely see the sea over there. And I mean, technically, that is seawater in front of them. So if anything, we've brought the beach to them, thus increasing their property value. Nice map. Good work. Tsunami versus 35 canals. I almost feel like saying canals won. I'm not entirely sure though. By the way, look at the sea line. Like the shoreline has been pushed way back because we got so much water in our canal. Right, anyway, let's reset this. And what I'm tempted to try this time, like I want to know if I were to like build the inverse of the tsunami. So obviously the tsunami wave is like a big lump, isn't it? So if I were just to do like one single trench along there, I mean, as long as the water gets stuck in it, surely that should work. Now the trouble is trying to estimate how big this actually is. Like it's pretty huge in my opinion. So let's go into our landscape and disasters tool. We'll go to this tab, landscaping tools, and then we can literally make a trench. Now I like to use the level terrain to actually do the trench, but I think to start with I'll just do shift terrain, and if I click this button 3 times, that's the brush strength. If I make the brush very large, then all I gotta do is dig a hole that's sort of as wide as the tsunami. So let's dig down. You can see the contours move. Oh no. Like I say, you can see the contours move, and then I was like, actually, that doesn't look right. Now, because we've got contours, I could actually use that to estimate the height of the wave quite easily. Like if I just go in the middle of the wave and just build, well, a nipple up inside the wave. So yeah, that's roughly the height of the wave. So if we just now count contours, so we've got 1 major contour, 2, 3, and then how long away until the 4th major contour appears? It's there. So if we want to play this safe, I could put 4 major contours worth of depth in, because there's quite a bit of wave behind it. So we'll just delete that point. We'll come back over to our hole. You can see major contour there. So we've got 1, 2, we're sort of 3 of the way down, so we've got to go till we see the 4th, and then we're going to use the level terrain tool. So if we just grab that, we can say from there 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you know what, to play it safe, I might actually go to the very bottom of the hole. That should just hopefully grab some of the waves behind, because there is quite a bit of volume there. They're sort of like, they're almost half as tall as the main tsunami wave. And then with our level terrain tool, we can literally just make this wider. So how wide do we think the tsunami is? It's about something like that. I mean, I feel like I've made that a bit bigger. But anyway, let's build our trench this deep. So this is probably going to take a while. I'm literally gonna build this as best I can. I wish there was a larger brush tool. I love that I'm preparing for this massive tsunami, and the game's like, you should build a post office to take care of mail deliveries. It's like, dude, there's a massive tsunami coming. We gotta build this trench. Come on, game. All right, so there we go. Now we have our trench. Our trench is actually really, really big. A lot bigger than the tsunami, so hopefully that will actually catch it. But of course, the people from my city, they've still got their very nice sea view. They can't even see the trench. So no complaints from anyone down here, and hopefully no complaints in the comments either, because over here, wow. Wow, I'm quite intrigued. Surely that's just gonna eat the tsunami. Like, I have massively oversized that. How did that even happen? And also up this end, where we've got these road bridges, I managed to cut that up, which means the balls should be saved as well. So yeah, here you go. The tsunami is entering the trench, and surely there is no chance that's getting out. That's literally like twice as high as it needs to be. Maybe I might have to redo all this. Very, very annoying. But up to the size where it will contain. Oh god, ooh, that nearly escaped. Oh, it did escape over here. The tsunami's still going. Don't say it's actually still going. It's still got momentum. What? There's still actual tsunami heading towards my city. Thankfully, it does look like it's not going to reach it. But I do feel like I possibly over-engineered this. So what I might do, I might bring the base level of the trench up a bit. Because obviously, if you're building a trench like this, you're going to have all that dirt, and like where does the dirt go? But yeah, now we've contained the tsunami. I am quite intrigued to see like where the shoreline's going to settle. Then we can sort of work out just how big the tsunami is. Oh no, we can't. Look, the grass is moving. The grass is already retreating. Yeah, so that is the slight downside with trying to measure like the shoreline, is that the grass will always head towards the shore, towards the water. So yeah, we can't actually tell where it was. I'm gonna assume though it was probably roughly there. So we've definitely taken out a chunk of the sea. Anyway, what if this wasn't one trench, but what if it was actually 2 deep trenches? Because I'm not sure like what a deep trench does. Like if we make this narrower than the actual tsunami, then will the vertical wall still stop it, or will it pass over? I'm quite intrigued actually. Let's grab a level and then let's just put this along the middle of the trench. Right, so now we've got 2 huge trenches, but obviously a lot less volume. So assuming that this width is wider than this width, I'm intrigued to see how much will go over the top. So tsunami enters the first ditch. What happens to the height? It's properly dropping. Yep, it's gone. It's disappeared completely. There's no tsunami, and then it rises up the other side. Oh wow. Only a tiny bit came over. Ooh, okay, that's quite interesting. So basically my tsunami, it wasn't the width, it was the depth. So there's 2 things I want to do now then. I want to do one very narrow trench as deep as this one. So I'm going to fill in the top one, and I'm going to make this bottom one a little bit narrower as well. And then the other test, I want to keep it the original width, but make it a lot shallower, and we'll see which one works better, a deep trench or a wide trench. So for the wide trench, we're coming up over half the height. So we're going to be way shallower. By the way, if you haven't already, go check out my merch store. We've got loads of merch. We've got engineering puns. We've got bridge review shirts. We've got all sorts. RealCivilEngineer.store. Right, this is going to be one of those jobs that's just going to take forever. So I'm just going to sit back, relax, shove some Polybridge theme tune music on. One of my favorite things to listen to for menial tasks. And then I'll probably see you on the other side. Do 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 da da ba 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 bo 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 bo. Right, okay, the tidal wave is entering the lower trench. Now, I've really cocked up on the height of this, by the way. Like, this is meant to be half the height of the tsunami. It's actually, like, the full height. But still, we know the tsunami has force, and it has pushed itself out of the trench. Oh, wow, that is huge. That's still huge. Guys, you should be on alert. You need to evacuate. Big tsunami still incoming. So the shallow trench really did not a lot, really. I love this bit over here, like the bit where there's like a little road here on very vertical bits of wall, and you can see you can see the tsunami's actually bigger over the top of that. That's quite cool. But yeah, sorry those people that insisted on a sea view. You've now got a sea, well, a sea touch and smell, not just view. I mean, boosh, see you later. Oh dear, oh dear. So it looks like my tall building survived, but that's about it. So, wide trench, that is a fail. Let's try a deep, narrow trench. Alright, so I think this one should be a little bit quicker to build. So many of you would be pleased to know I won't be humming the Polybridge theme tune this time. And something about this is quite satisfying. It's almost like Power Wash Simulator, but Land Terraformation Simulator. Yeah, I could do this for hours, which is quite handy when I am literally doing this for hours. Yeah, let's just do this bit very, very satisfyingly. All right, so let's start with this trench. We'll see how it copes. Now, it is actually quite a wide trench. I will probably make it narrower if this tsunami fails to make it over. But there it goes. The tsunami is going into the trench. Will it make it up the other side? With the view from here, you're like, oh, look, there's a tsunami going into a trench. I wonder if I'm safe stood here. Oh, wow, and apparently we very much are. I mean, it's pretty rough and dangerous down there, but it didn't even come close. Didn't even come close to getting over. Okay, let's make this narrower again. And again, I feel this is quite satisfying to do as well. And then we've got the world's smallest trench. Sort of. I mean, it's several hundred meters deep. It's quite echoey and scary down here. But from up here, it looks way smaller than the tsunami. So as that all flows into there, is it going to come out this end? Is it going to ooh. A little bit of water. I got my foot slightly splashed, I think. But no, I think we're safe. There's a little bit of spillage there, but that ain't going to do any damage to our sea view city. Wait, what's going on here? There's a little bit of water escaped, although I think it's pretty insignificant. Yeah, it's not going to make it up to there. Nice. Well, now I want to know what the smallest trench is. All right, so I'm going to make the bottom as narrow as possible while still hopefully keeping the depth. You can see that's a very, very small little V now. I mean, we are actually losing a lot of depth. If you look at those contours, yeah, I'm not too confident about this one. All right, here we go then. World's smallest trench. Imagine if this works. Like after all the monstrosities I've built. All it took was a tiny little trench. Right, so tsunami is about to enter trench. It's sort of glitching through the ground. Not ideal. Not ideal for a fair test game. Although it's definitely escaped. Oh no. Is that enough escaped water to actually make it up to there though? It's still quite a long way for it to go. I'm a little bit more confident this end might make it. Like... That wave is huge. Yeah, quite weird, this map. In terms of this end, the tsunami is definitely a lot more powerful than over this end. But yeah, it looks like the waves aren't going to hit my city. So we might water some trees and stuff. But generally, I think we can call that a success. If you want to stop tsunami, build down, not up. You heard it here first. Just don't do that over this side of the map. Because... this side did get annihilated. We are back in the lovely land of Tsunami, where we are going to be testing a few more fluid dynamic stuff. And you may notice as well, look, I got rid of the edge mist. So we can finally see what was going on back here. What was causing the tsunami? Some sort of huge cliff. And then, I don't know why, but that causes the tsunami on this map. Interesting. Well, unless you're this guy, then not so interesting. Because you probably don't care why it's there. You just care that it is there. Anyway, this time, if we go all the way over here, I've been tasked with the job of defending the center of engineering. This very, very efficient looking building here. Now, this is the engineers HQ, and if we look out, you'll see the tsunami is pretty much going to hit. There's nothing to stop it, really. And you've seen me defend cities in a variety of ways from tsunamis. We've had pumps, we've had deflection, we've had a Tesla valve, we had my take on a Tesla valve that I thought was a Tesla valve, but wasn't really a Tesla valve, so I did the real Tesla valve afterwards. And we even had ditches and canals, which worked surprisingly well, actually. And you might think, well, Matt, surely you're just milking this idea now. Like, sure. Shut up, Daisy. Shut up, Daisy. But yes, this time it's different because we're not just saving a city. We are trying to save engineering itself. So this is what we're trying to prevent from happening. And let's see what happens as the tidal wave hits the heart of engineering. Oh, it's hideous. It's horrible. Oh, no. They've gone. They've completely gone. Now I know how Paddy the dog feels. Anyway, now you can see this is what could happen if we don't put some defenses in. So first off, you might be asking yourself, well, Matt, what sort of defense are you going to try this time? Well, to start with, I'm not sure. I don't think I've ever tried. I don't actually think anyone's ever tried. But do like buildings stop tsunamis? And I think what I want to do, I want to do like a few different tests. So we're going to have a load of road like this, and then I'm going to split this into different sort of segments. Basically, we're going to come down here and use this zoning tool. I've got a mod on that gives us infinite demand. So everything down here, they're on very high demand, which basically means as I paint on like a low density residential area, as soon as I press play, people should start building their houses. So they're all going up there. Now I'm just going to hit pause because I want to add a high density residential area, a low density commercial zone area, a high density one, an industrial zone, and an office zone. And I am just going to dam down here as well. Put some water intakes on this side, some sewage outlets on that side, and then cover everything in pipes as efficiently as I can. Yes, the hallmark of efficient drainage design there. And then if I just connect these up with some pylons, hopefully that should mean as this city grows that people will stop complaining about not having power and stuff, and therefore they won't demolish their buildings. Now I might just connect this very, very dodgily to the highway. Yep, look at that truck. Look how fast they're flying. And we've just got a random turn on there. Just give way. So if you're driving out this road, it's like, oh, I'll just pull up and then I'll just give way to look how fast they're coming down. Whoa. Whoa. But yeah, that's fine. You can see people are moving in like anything. Oh, this is actually going pretty well. What I want to do, I want to see, because obviously these different areas, they got different height buildings and all sorts. Like the industrial zone has loads and loads of chimney tops, whereas the low density residential is pretty small, just like single story buildings. Oh god, we got a house on fire. We got a house on fire already. Well, don't worry, mate. The fire department around here, they like to over-engineer. But yeah, basically we'll be measuring to see which one of these stops waves better, and is it taller buildings? Do taller buildings help prevent waves? Now, before we go too far, I've got some more space over here. So let's hit pause and let's try and find some really tall buildings. So if we head into unique buildings, I know there are definitely some in here. Now I think this, the high interest tower, is sort of like one of the biggest towers you can build, at least in the standard game. Like look at the size of those compared to like down here. It dwarfs everything. So if we build these in a rip-rap pattern. So this is what we actually use in real life, like at the end of like culvert outlets that go into the river and stuff. If we're trying to slow the flow down, you might see this pattern like sometimes out of rock, sometimes out of like precast concrete sheet. And basically the idea is as water comes down here, it obviously gets bounced back by the blocks, but water can still get round, and any water that, say it came like straight down like that really fast, it would go between those two, not ideal for slowing down, but then it would bash into this wall and it would have to go around and around. So the theory is this should allow water through, but just slower. Now I am pretty sure this has probably never been done in buildings in real life, so we will have to see what happens here. It probably won't follow real life, but I am very intrigued to know whether the tall buildings actually slows the tsunami down at all. So that's probably like the biggest surface area in terms of like the front of the building. Like Look at that. Can you actually imagine a city built like that as well? It would be horrendous, I'm not going to lie. I mean, what else do we have in unique buildings? I mean, we do have the observation tower, the one that we're trying to protect at the end. We do also have this, the Cathedral of Plenitude. See how tall this... Oh, it's smaller than that building, is it? Oh, it's not far off. I thought it was like way taller. Oh man, even these aren't that much taller. How blooming tall are these PS5 buildings? They're huge. Tell you what, let's do a load of these. The drop tower ride. I mean, they're quite tall, but they're not very tall. Be interesting to see if they work any better than like a load of solid buildings. So we'll grab all of those with the move it mod, and then we can copy them up to another road. There we go. I'm sure that might stop a tsunami. It actually could. Looking through it, it could. Here we have a railway. So I'm wondering, could we use a railway? Let's bung a train station down. And if we come out with some tracks, I mean, perhaps we could do a bit of around here. Maybe go uphill a little bit. There we go. A nice little railway there. That should hopefully stop some tsunami-age. I mean, it's pretty high. It's sort of dense. I mean, I imagine water will get through there. Look at Oh, look at that bridge. You know what that means? It's time for a bridge review. From some angles, it is a truss bridge, but from other angles, it's definitely just an optical illusion. This bridge allows trains to go from all the way down here to all the way up here. Not only is it part of a unique experiment to see if we can stop a tsunami, but it also helps in the advertisement of burgers. So therefore, I give this bridge a slanted 3.9 out of 10. Bridge review. Right, nice. That is that done. We've nearly filled this stuff up. By the way, if you want to get a bridge review t-shirt and do bridge reviews yourself in real life, check out our merch store, realcivilengineer.store. Right, so I found a cheeky little workshop one I downloaded, Pinoa Street. So let's shove a few of these in. So again, we're going for the rip-wrap orientation to try and get the gaps between the buildings in. So that's all of those done. Oh, man. Look at those. Wow. Then I wouldn't mind, if I'm honest, either... Do I put a piece of architecture to help save the engineers? I feel like that's not realistic. And we're trying to be realistic here. So I got something better instead. Now, that is some engineering. We're going to be trying using the power of bridges to stop the tsunami. Oh, wow. Okay, so this is looking pretty good in my opinion. We've got people moved in pretty much everywhere. And then since the tsunami is getting close, I probably want to pause right about now. Have they finished building? Yeah, I think everyone's in. Let's hit pause. And then up the top, this little bird, usually he's got a little hard hat on like that because he's an engineering bird, isn't he? However, when I turn on Anarchy mod, he disappears, which is no good. So unfortunately, we have to remove the hard hat in order to turn our bird from a normal bird into a hardcore engineering anarchy bird. And anarchy is a mod that basically allows you to copy and paste anything anywhere, essentially. So if I grab the move it mod and then we literally just say, I want to grab all of this. My frame rate is not going to like this. And then we want to copy it. Pressing this button. Oh god, should I do this? I should probably save first. My poor PC. And then we're going to press this button here, copy. And then hopefully we should be able to copy these just behind them like that. And then now I've clicked. There we go. They're all in. Oh god, they're taking a long time to load. What is going on there? Anyway, we'll do another line behind them. I might regret this. I wonder if my PC will survive. And I guess for luck, I'll click again. Is that really worth doing? I feel like that's probably enough at that point. I don't want to overdo it before the wave arrives. Oh man, my GPU fans are like, I can feel the air. Anyway, look at that. I think this is like the biggest city I've ever built. Oh, it's spawning in. It is spawning in. There we go. Oh, then we're fine. The game's back in action. Right, so I might hit save on this. And then if this sort of does anything, then I guess I could try copying more back there. But I don't... Oh, man, this is literally the coolest thing I've ever built in this game. And to be fair, I've built quite a lot of stuff that I'm quite proud of. Oh god, I just copied another one. I think that was like on a 5-minute delay or something. Okay, we better wait for that one to spawn. Oh, look at the wave of happiness. Everyone's so happy. Everyone was so happy. I don't know why they're happy. My computer is definitely not happy. But we'll just wait for everything to load at the back. I think... Oh, there we go. We've got some skyscrapers. Nice. Come on, bridges. Come on, Sydney Harbour bridges. Where are you? Show me your steel. Show me your steel. Anyway, they're in and they're loaded. Look at this place. Oh my goodness. I feel sort of bad that it's about to get destroyed by a tidal wave. I won't lie. The most productive thing I've ever built on this game, and this is how I treat it. Anyway, I'm over it now, so let's press play and let's see what happens. Oh, I feel like this is actually a way to slow the tsunami down. Make your PC suffer in agony from building way too many buildings, and then the tsunami barely moves. So yeah, we are on ×3 speed. It's just not happening. Although actually, hurry up a bit, because look, we're losing our buildings. They're on fire. We're losing chimneys that could help stop the tsunami. Right, I don't know where to start, if I'm honest. I'm guessing the big buildings, because they're probably going to make the most difference, right? Oh, the water's going up the front of them. The water is going up the front. Wow, they're going up really, really. Oh, and the buildings, they've collapsed. Okay, that's not good. That is not good. What's going on with these skyscrapers over here? They are getting eaten by the tsunami. And the front line, yep, they're all collapsing, as is my frame rate, apparently. So looking along the way, there's definitely ripples. Like, that is not a flat level. Oh god, my PC hates this. I'll tell you what, I might literally have to slow it down to normal speed. Right, over here, over at the start, can we see whether these small buildings, this is the low density residential, that wave looks it looks pretty smooth on top. I don't think it's being disrupted too much. But then here, right next to it, these are the high density ones, a lot bigger buildings. I mean, check out the top of that wave. That is getting disrupted way more than over here. Way more, which I guess implies that the height of the building is definitely helping. So down here we have the low density commercial area. This is where there's like pancake shops, dentists that advertise really sugary treats. Diners and all, you know, that sort of stuff. Hang on a second. That's changed. They've vanished in front of my eyes. I swear there are more buildings than this. They've all been replaced with dirt. Hang on a second. What's going on here? The game's just been like, nah, I can't hack this, Matt. Sorry, mate, but we're replacing your buildings with grass. All right, let's just stay looking and see. Look, it's happening in front of your eyes. It's happening in front of our eyes. Is this the evacuation? Did someone warn them that there was a tsunami coming? Are you all being evacuated? What is going on? You're meant to stand still. You're meant to hold the wall. Hold the door. Anyway, let's head back over this way. Oh my goodness. It's worked. My skyscraper riprap, it's actually worked. Look behind. Look how dry that is. Oh my goodness. I was not expecting that. I will not lie to you. I did not think that would work. Over here, look at these skyscrapers. The front ones are still there. Granted, the wave is actually still passing through these ones. That's quite interesting. So the water is passing through, but the buildings aren't being destroyed. Now, what about our Sydney Harbour bridges? How are they getting on? You can see the bridge getting completely eaten. That actually looks like the stock footage that we used in another, like the intro to one of the old videos. But yeah, back to the game. It is actually destroying every single bridge in its path. I'm guessing bridges don't make the best tsunami defense. I'm looking at these, right. Are there actually, don't say there's actually people. Hang on, let's pause it. Oh my goodness, look. There's actually people on this right. Look how calm this guy looks. And if we spin around to see what he's looking at, I mean, to be fair, you probably can't really see. But there's a huge freak-off tsunami heading straight towards his face. And he's spending his last moments on Earth on a roller coaster. I mean, fair play. That's a good way to go, probably. I mean, if you had to go, it's probably up there. But wow, zooming out, I mean, these skyscrapers absolutely nailed the tsunami. There's like nothing there. Like in the middle, there literally isn't a wave. This is just like, that's just water coming from the edges, like where these buildings decided to bugger off and replace themselves with grass. Wow, okay, this was awesome. Meanwhile, over here, how is this look? I feel like this test isn't really fair anymore. But sort of looking at the height. Okay, that is definitely the highest tsunami. So what sort of buildings were these? I think these were, if we check our zoning. Yeah, these were the high density commercial area, actually creating the biggest tsunami. The low density commercial next to it. I mean, the wave here is tiny compared to that. I thought with the bigger buildings, the high density would be a lot better. Anyway, all of these buildings, look at the height of that wave. And then if we head this way, the skyscrapers completely, the tsunami's just gone. The roller coaster ride, I think that bloke might have survived. Where is he? Right, okay, maybe not. There is a bit of water in here. There's definitely a bit of water, I will tell you that. The railway, I mean, to be fair, railway has done a reasonable job considering how how chaotic it is. I mean, I feel like Josh would even be proud of that railway, if I'm honest. Yeah, skyscrapers, fair play. We sort of expected that from the big buildings over there. The Sydney Harbour Bridge, though, not gonna lie, a little bit disappointed. Is this one gonna survive? All the ones behind it have been destroyed. No, it disappeared. It disappeared into the abyss. I thought it might have survived, but no. What about the last one? Because that's, I mean, come on, that's barely getting wet. Barely. Ignore those two pillars. They're probably not structural. They're probably just visual, right? No, it's down. Oh, the pillars are down. The pillars are down. Is the bridge gonna stay up? Is the arch? Oh, no, it's gone. Well, let's look from above and see the results. I mean, pretty much every building didn't really work. I mean, that's still quite a big tsunami. I think the stuff I did in the middle, it did all work a lot better than everything else. But I do feel like these skyscrapers, they sort of gave, like, can you see the ones on this side of these? Like, they all survived the rides. I'm pretty sure that was these skyscrapers helping out, if I'm honest. But yeah, that was extremely unexpected. I did not think skyscrapers would stop a tsunami. So does that mean tsunamis aren't really a risk to like big cities? Because if you got enough skyscrapers, you can just stay dry. I mean, it looks like our balls might get a little bit damp, but like, that's just a casual Friday night, innit? Anyway, let's load this one up, the Center of Engineering, because basically we're going to be wanting to save this structure once again from the tsunami in the distance. Now, we've tried lots of things in the past. We've defended using loads and loads of water pumps. We deflected the tsunami using a range of techniques that I learned in my real-life engineering career. We then used canals, we used trenches, not to mention the Tesla valve that I made, the Tesla valve that is actually a Tesla valve, as well as using an entire city to defend against the tsunami. However, today we're going to be using the tsunami's most natural, most feared predator. We're going to try and send a tsunami against this tsunami to stop it. Tsunamiception. So first off, what we're going to do, we're going to have to delete all these roads because we're going to need some space for all this. So I've severed both of those. I mean, if you're traveling 70 along there and then you've suddenly got a sharp left-hand turn, I mean, yeah, not my finest highway design, let's just put it that way. But I have this mod installed that allows me to play with water sources. So if I come down here and click this button, water, can you see over here? These are actually water sources. So this is where water spawns from in the map. So I can literally right-click to remove them, and then these no longer will produce water. Yeah, basically, what I'm sort of thinking is I need to make my own tsunami somehow. So I'm probably going to have to do a bit of landscaping. Now, the thing I'm not sure about is how to like speed up or slow down water, whether that's even a thing. So I guess first off, I want to build like, I guess, a sort of reservoir with a slope on it, or maybe a few different types. Yeah, I think to start off, we're going to have sports day, but it's going to be tsunamis racing tsunamis. Now, the really good thing about this mod is look at all these options. Ooh, options. So we can choose the size of the brush. And look, I could have saved so much time. I can get a brush that's that size.
Oh my.
Why didn't I do this before? Look at that. Look how much land I've just moved up instantly. Anyway, we'll flatten that back down. We'll do a somewhat sensible size. And I'm sort of thinking we just do like strips. So we've got 4 racing lanes in. And basically we're going to try a few different methods to see if we can make the water sort of travel along these any quicker. So yeah, we're going to do an egg and tsunami race. So first off, let's just cap all of these off. So we've got a nice straight edge at the back of all of these. I should probably, just to keep it a fair test, let's just put a straight edge down that side as well. Right, okay then. So in trap 1, we're just going to have lots and lots of water spawners, and we'll see what happens with that. So in the next trap, I'm going to have, I think I'm going to do like a slope. It's probably worth adding like a sort of a lower-ish level, maybe, I don't know, about there. And we'll just have a little platform there, and then we'll use the sloping tool. I think we'll do like a 45-degree, so something like that sort of slope. Right, nice. Then we'll paint that in, and then we got something Tony Hawk would be proud of, I think. So hopefully I can place these up the very top. Yep. And then can I actually place these on the slope? ish. Okay, so that's those two done. Next up, if I put a wall at the front, I think I can fill this up with water. So if I click in there and then click and hold, yeah, I can bring that higher. So you can see the water level is clearly going up. So that should fill water to there. Can I then just add more of those, or do I have to click it each time? I have to click it each time. Okay, fair enough. So they're all set at a much higher water level, and I think what I'll do, once it starts filling up, I'm going to remove the wall and see if that makes that water rush out quicker. For this final trap, I think I'm going to do what I had at the start, which is just a load on the floor, but I'm gonna raise all of them right up here, because this could provide like more water, so the rush of water could be greater. So I feel like the more water we have, the more chance we have of stopping the tsunami, because that is the final aim. It's not just a foot race. It might just look like a foot race for now, but we do have this heading towards us, which we do need to stop. So I guess we'll just watch over these and we'll press play and we'll see what happens. Oh, there you go. There's the water. So water is raising up from the ground down there. How is that looking on the end one? The end one looks the same, actually. Like from above, I'd say the left and right are pretty identical. Although, what's happened to the... what's happened to this one? All the water's like... it's like in the ground or something. It is sort of pouring out the bottom. Oh, and it's definitely leaked out the back. How have you leaked out the back? Why aren't my walls very good? Okay, I tell you what, we might have to rebuild with flood walls because... no, the center of engineering is going to be wet soon. Anyway, actually, comparing the left to the right one, I think this one, like looking at it, it's definitely a lot lower than this. Oh yeah, look at that. That is like, that's turning into a bit of a tsunami wave. And I really hate that this middle one is... this middle one's like, there's as much water as the other ones, even though there's not meant to be any. It's just my walls have leaked. Like, zoomed out, my walls don't look good. But when you're zoomed in, like, there shouldn't be any gaps, particularly at the back. I don't know what's happened there. I will just continue the race at fast speed just to see what's going on. I mean, oh man, look how much water's coming out the back. Okay, I feel like that means... if we build this properly, perhaps using flood walls, I imagine they'll stop water going through them. But all of them definitely have water heading that direction. I mean, I feel like the slope one's actually the best. That feels like quite a wave of water. They're all the same speed though. I think we've pretty much proven whatever we do, it's going to be the same speed. It's just a case of which is more water. Like that looks like a lot. This is the high flood area one. Like compared to this one where they're low down. I mean, look how low down they are. Oh, look at this waterfall. Look at this waterfall. Isn't that nice? Right, anyway, since we leaked out the back and we completely flooded the center of engineering, let's do this again, but let's build out of these the flood wall. Right, so there we go. We've built flood walls on top of everything. So I'm hoping the flood walls will actually make this like impenetrable to the water. Let's just make sure that that on top has one as well. Okay, so let's go again. So water is filling up, and actually it looks like there's no water leaking out the back. Oh no, there's water leaking out the side still. Damn you, game. Why do you do this to me? Well, I really thought the flood walls would actually prevent that from happening, but still, let's see which one of these is going to be better against the tsunami. Although actually, I feel like I'm probably going to have to extend these. The tsunami's quite far away, so we'll extend all these flood walls down. I mean, they might help. I know they haven't really helped so far, but we'll keep this going. I'm sort of thinking as well, this is pretty much full. So let's just hit pause quickly. Let's delete these flood walls. And then if we remove this wall, what we're going to expect to happen is all that water just to fly out of there. But I don't know. We'll have to see if that is what actually happens. So that is the wall gone. We'll press play. What happens to the water? I mean, it definitely is moving. It's sort of just moving down though. That is actually quite a big wave, actually. But yeah, in terms of a sprint, it seems like they're all pretty much equal with each other. And it's sort of looking like, I don't know, I may need to extend these again just to make sure the tsunami goes up. But what one are we thinking is going to be best? I mean, that one's looking pretty dangerous. I feel like the first one, definitely the lowest, definitely looks like the least amount of water. This one on a slope, it definitely looks like there's a lot more water. It's definitely higher than the first. This one where we just broke the flood wall, there is a huge wall of water coming at the back. Oh my goodness, that's actually a lot of water. But it's actually pretty similar to this first one. And I think about now, this is where the tsunami and my tsunami defense tsunamis. It's the first time they're going to meet. So you can see the tsunami is heading up each of these now. And then what is going to happen as it meets each of them? Do you think any are going to be pushed back? Or is the tsunami just going to go straight through them? Oh, man. Oh, this one, it took a bit of a beating. It definitely got smaller or maybe thinner. And yeah, if we watch from above, it looks like, oh, I'd say maybe the first two, they have definitely been hit. I think track 3 and 4, they're going to be hit later on. I mean, especially this track. I think we've got a bigger tsunami. I feel like this is the last hope now. The other ones have sort of failed. Oh no, the tsunami's going like up and over. It's leapfrogging my tsunami. Oh, I don't know what's going to happen. Is it still? Oh man, it's definitely still moving. It's just gone on top of it. All that water that was coming. Oh man, I really thought we were gonna have a victory there. But comparing to the main tsunami back here, I don't really think our tsunamis have done anything except for make it more powerful. I mean, it definitely looks like there's a lot of physics going on. I mean, look at these first like entrances. There's like ripples in every direction. Man, this end is just mental with ripples. Look at it. There's a bridge down there surviving. Good work, bridge. Oh, that has been engineered quite well to withstand all that, I'd imagine. I wonder, are those boats about? Oh, here we go. There is a boat arriving. It's heading straight for the ripples. Not gonna lie, quite looking forward to seeing it handle this. Let's have a look at it. Oh my goodness. Whoa. I hope you've got boat suspension if there is such a thing. Oh, look at this drop. That was a hell of a drop. Careful. Whoa. How is it upright? However, from this angle, you can clearly see we've actually made most of the tsunamis worse. I think they're all worse, actually. I feel like the main tsunami... the main tsunami is the smallest one. Hey, look at the size of these two end ones. They're massive now. Wow, okay. Well, I think that was pretty much a fail. So you can see like the river here. The river has a bit of pace to it, but the tsunami just... like it's bigger where the water is. It sort of takes the water with it. I wonder if there's any way that I can actually use water to slow this down. I thought this would have done something. However, what about fighting water with fire? Now, the theory here is as the tsunami hits the fire, like surely some of it should evaporate, right? So what do we need to start a fire? Well, we know buildings are flammable in this game. So I'm thinking if we go with sort of low level buildings, because I don't want to stop the tsunami with the actual building height. So if we let those build, they're low density residentials. So I've added a few nuclear plants about so they've got power. So they should just build pretty quickly. Next up, over this side for the other test, I think we're just going to go with like trees and stuff. So we've got the random tree brush. Let's make the size very... oh, that is big. Yeah, we'll go like that. Oh, look at all the trees. Is that all trees? Oh my goodness. Oh no, it's not trees. It's like... it's just short vegetation. Is it because I didn't tick all of these? Oh, I'm going to have to tick all these first. All right, so this time we're filling it up with proper trees. Oh, that is really cool to see. I think every time I click, it's like random. So it's a different load of trees every time. So I'll just keep clicking over this. I'll make sure I fill in the corners. Right, and then we got a city being built over here. Love to see it. And then we got all of these trees. I mean, look at all of them. There's so many trees. It's a proper forest. Now, thankfully, the tsunami's not quite here yet. We've still got some time to build all these, but basically what I want to do once all this residential is built, we need to trigger a fire. Now I think the most sensible way to do this is to head into the landscaping and disasters thing and we click the disasters tab, because then there's fires in here, so we can literally just tell everything to set alight. Right, so the wave is actually getting pretty close now. I don't think I have time to wait for that to finish building, so let's hit pause. Let's come to the forest fire and then can I just click these everywhere. Oh no, there's a cooldown. Oh, it doesn't last long. It doesn't last long. So we'll do that. We'll get the main fires going as well. And this feels so wrong, burning this amazing forest I built. Right, well, here we go. Tsunami versus forest fire, as well as tsunami versus... I mean, the building fire. It could be going better, guys. It could definitely be going better. Hang on a second. I thought there'd be more fire in here. I'm just trying to spam them everywhere while I still can. Anyway, here we go. The forest fire. Oh, look at the pillars of that bridge. They're glowing. So is the water evaporating as it hits the fire? I mean, it's making a sizzly noise. Whether the tsunami is... whether the tsunami is going to evaporate itself out, I'm not entirely convinced. I won't lie to you. But yeah, there is a big fire down there. I love how it makes the bridges glow. That's actually quite cool. Behind the wave, you can see it's definitely put the fires out. You can clearly see where the fire was and where it stopped. But it doesn't look like the wave is evaporating in the slightest. Particularly over here where where the fires are, well, they're not quite the inferno I sort of predicted. Still, it gives us a good idea of how we're doing, like, because this is pretty much like normal. Let's just imagine that there isn't any fires here, because there pretty much isn't. You can definitely see the wave pretty much unaffected. So that is a failure. That is myth busted. Oh, which I feel like could be an awesome segment. In the comments, let me know your myths that you want me to bust. Now, they could be tsunami based. They could be something else based. As long as I can try and bust them or prove them right in Cities Skylines. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we can say forest fires do not evaporate a tsunami. I feel a bit stupid for thinking that they would, to be honest. Anyway, one more test I want to try. I want to sort of see, you know, all the stuff I was doing like on land with the rip wrap, the like lumps and bumps and stuff. I wonder if I were to build them under the water, out of sight, like would that stop the tsunami? Like I don't know if, does this game take into account the height of the water like underneath the tsunami? I don't know. But first off, we need to buy a few more plots of land because we don't own the sea, unlike certain countries in the real world that think they should own the sea. In this map, it's not owned by anyone. Well, until now, I have literally just bought it. So yeah, sorry. But I'm sort of thinking if I head like underwater, I can't even see underwater. Although now I very much can see underwater. Oh look, there's a big old trench at the back. But yeah, if I grab something sort of sea level, so I think somewhere I want to be under the sea definitely. So if we go like that level, so yeah, if I build some horizontal walls, we sort of know that they worked a bit before. I can do like my baffly thing. So we've got these underwater in the crisscross pattern, and then if those fail, what about we then put like a trench in? So we know before a ditch definitely works. So we just put like a very small ditch the entire length of the sea, then that could be our last resort. So at the moment, you can barely see anything. To the untrained eye, we have a very, very nice looking sea. We got a sea view. Now we've just got a standard tsunami on its way. Let's see if our underwater defenses actually can stop the tsunami. So you can see, oh, there's some movement at the front. There is movement at the front. I don't know if that's just because land has appeared under the sea, so it's pushed up all the water, or what's going on, but I'm intrigued for the actual wave to go over some of these things. Yeah, you can see at the back, oh, it's gone straight over the walls. There's a wall there, there's a wall there. Seems to be moving with no issues at all. Oh dear, this is not going to work, I don't think. Yeah, you can see under there's the baffles. It's gone over both rows of the baffles already. So it's about to go into the trench, sort of. The trench is like on this line. Is it going to slow the tsunami down? I think this boat will agree that it isn't at all. Look at that one. Oh my goodness, the wall riding boats. Yeah, I feel like if anything, I made the tsunami worse by adding things to the sea floor. But the reason I wanted to try is actually in a place called Portsmouth, which is in the UK on the south coast. It was a bit of a fail actually, but they built something on the sea floor to try and make a wave, so that it would like attract surfers to the area, but it failed massively. And I'm guessing this is just more evidence that you can't control the sea. This is Mother Nature's land. Anyway, that is a full-on normal size tsunami, if not slightly bigger than usual. So I'm going to say that is a fail. Myth busted. So I guess this time I'll just say that's the end of that. Peace, love, and efficient building layouts. Bye, guys. Have a good one.